I want to make this video here about this Freedom Fighter Times. He's got quite a few subscribers. He's got 101,336 subscribers. And anyways, I started to watch this video because he's talking about Obama states this is the end of America. He's talking about the last correspondence dinner. I watched this opening here. He starts with freedom fighters and then Jesus Christ. Um, Now, I'm a Christian, also a certified Christian counselor. I'm going to pause this video right here, but because there's a point to it, and he goes on and he talks about how Obama pretty much kissed off America uh, in that dinner and joked about it. Uh, I don't know if you've seen videos on that or not or whatever, but there's some things about the two finger salute or whatever, but this guy talks about what he talks about in here, and it kind of disturbs me because that's why I wanted to make this video. Um, and I see this a lot. I see this a lot where he's talking about it doesn't matter who the politician is, they're all crooked, and he accuses Donald Trump of being part of the NWO. I've been studying Donald Trump for over 30 years. I'm 51 years old. I've been following him since the 80s. They say if you want to be wealthy, emulate the wealthy people. So I've watched him act a fool on WWF. I've watched interviews. That was in the 90s when he was. I think it was in the yeah, it was in the 90s when he was doing WWF, acting a fool. But he's an entertainer, but he's also a businessman. He took $1 million and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah, he had some failures, and I've seen that on the internet a lot. Oh well, he's failed at this, and he filed bankruptcy, and blah blah blah. Well, any successful person will tell you that they've had failures. All successful people fail. Anybody that doesn't fail has never tried. I've failed myself, and I still struggle sometimes. But the thing about it is you have to understand what's going on. And this guy claims to be a freedom fighter. Okay, how many freedom fighters do you know quit? Because basically what he's saying is your vote does not count. Your vote is no good. So why even bother? Throw in the towel before the fight even starts. And that's not. And I see that, and I watch these videos, and I see this a lot. Um, in the comments especially. They talk about it. It's like here's a guy asking, could you be a little bit more elaborate as to Mr. Trump being part of the elite's NWO? I'm putting a lot of time into this campaign, and I'd like to know if it's in vain. Okay, so there's a voter right there that this guy is discouraging. Donald Trump is owned by no one. I've read his books. I've been following him. He loves America. He believes in individual exceptionalism. He believes in the Constitution. Um, it's just really, really sad. It's just really sad. You see these people, and um, you get on here and you look at the replies and you look at the videos, and the main thing that I'm seeing is a lot of propaganda about Donald Trump. Like I said, Donald Trump is owned by no one. Um, it's just really, really ridiculous. And I was looking here earlier, and there was one. But there's a couple of people on here that claim, okay, well, you know, we'll just give up. Your vote doesn't count, so don't vote. I mean, that's basically what they're saying. Or it doesn't matter who you vote for. You know, um, Edmund Burke was back in the 19th century. Actually, he was a statesman back in the 1700s, and he had a lot of famous quotes. And he said, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." So it doesn't matter if if you believe your vote counts, vote. If you don't believe your vote counts, vote. I mean, we all know they've tried to steal the election from Donald Trump, and but it's not going to do any good to sit at home. If you don't vote, then yeah, your vote will not count. You're going to sit at home and think, oh, well, my vote doesn't count anyway, so why even bother? So you quit, and this guy here, Mr. Freedom Fighter here, give up before it's even started. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. They're all owned by the NWO. No, nobody owns Donald Trump. Trump owns Trump. That's evident. It's clear. Like I said, I've read his books. I've read several of his books. He loves America. He loves the Constitution. And if I'm not mistaken, he's actually against a lot of this New World Order stuff because they have been fighting against him for years because he's not bought by them. He's not paid for by them. He is his own man. He has his own thing. And then I see these two, and I want to throw this in here. Last warning to America, dollar will collapse 100%. 28 May 2016. No, the dollar's not going to collapse. I'm going to put a link in this video. I also do Forex. I have one strategy. The idea is the dollar is not going to collapse. What they'll have to do before they can collapse the dollars, they'll have to create a one world currency and get rid of the cash. They're trying to do that now. They haven't accomplished it yet. So until they accomplish getting rid of the cash and creating a one world currency, the dollar will not collapse. There's too many nations, too many countries that have vested interest in the dollar. They have stockpiles of dollar. That's why you see China is dumping the dollar. Who else? Somebody else was trying to dump the dollar, and but there's a reason for that, because they have all these dollars, and they're not gonna I don't care if it's the New World Order, the big banks that control them, or whoever it is, they're not gonna collapse the dollar until they get rid of cash and create a one world currency. They can't do it. They'll lose trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars if they do that. The elites will lose that. Gold will plummet. I mean, there's so many reasons why the dollar will. That's just scare tactics. They're not going to collapse the dollar. It may drop, but it's not going to collapse. Not anytime soon, and definitely not by the 28th of May, 2016. So anyways, my best Forex strategy, I talk about things like that, and it's a winning strategy. You can look it up. I'll put a link in the bottom of this video for my Thousands in Forex video series. I've been proving over a year that my strategy works. Consistent profits month after month after month after month. Why? Because I look at Forex differently. I look at it the way the bankers are looking at it. I'm not looking at it the way all these other people are looking at it. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into that. But you get a free copy of the Codex of Money, and that also talks about those things. But, the bottom line is freedom fighters don't quit without a fight. You can't quit without a fight. And, it's ridiculous. Donald Trump is his own man, and vote. I don't care if you think he's stealing the vote or whoever is doing whatever, rigging the election, whatever, vote. You cannot complain if you do not vote. So get out there and vote. And I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, but I'm just saying you cannot give up without a fight. So that's the end of this, and that is the biggest scam out there on Donald Trump, is people trying to convince others that your vote doesn't count and that Donald Trump is part of the NWO, because he's not. I'll stake everything I got on it that he's not. So that's the end of that. Big scam, 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 scam.